Scott's finished 2-1 here at Arbor Park. We've gone through into the third round of the FA Trophy. The first half wasn't too much of an eye pleaser, but in the end, it ended up being a bit of an entertaining game in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think it was a game that probably lacked quality over the course of 90 minutes, but I think the moments of quality that obviously counted were Nathan scoring a fantastic goal and Johnny showing absolute class again from a dead ball. So looks like that's me off free kicks now, which is a great day for me. Bad ankle off free kicks, but no, it's brilliant to see. To beat a team like Farnborough, we knew it was going to be tough, and we had to be switched on for 95 minutes, whatever it was. Even at the end there, the long throws are going in the box, and my ticker was going crazy. So just desperate to get through. Cup football, you've obviously got to try and win the game. We've managed to do that in a different style, which is really pleasing. I think it was at times being strong, resolute, with players missing as well that would probably usually start. I look at Temi and Bayliss, both out injured. Obviously, he had to pull out in the warm-up. Joe Dandy and Jamal Prosper, I thought, were absolutely brilliant. So many positives on a day like today, with Nathan getting his goal as well. I could go throughout the whole team. I thought they were tremendous in terms of what they gave us with their attitude and their character, desire, hunger, all of those things that you definitely need in a football match.
And then just going back to before the game even started, then you mentioned just there, Joe Dandy came into the side literally about 10-15 minutes before kick-off. Is Dan's injury just a temporary one, or is it potentially a serious one?
Yeah, it's more precaution. He just said to me that his groin's really tight, and he said that if he was to play, if he was to try and play a longer pass, it might just pull, and we definitely didn't want to do that. So we've obviously got Joe on the bench, who's more than capable, and I thought he really put his body on the line for us today. His first game he's played since Tunbridge on September the 2nd. He's not had any minutes. He's been training for a couple of weeks, but Joe's our vice captain for a reason, and I thought he showed exactly why today, coming in from absolutely nowhere. If we had 5 subs today, he probably wouldn't have been on there. So no, he would have been actually thinking about it. We had a few younger lads, didn't we, in the end? But no, tremendous performance from Joe. Delighted for him, and I could see after about 8 minutes that came over to the dugout, and he was blowing. So no, really well done to him.
And another big change that we saw was actually an announcement yesterday made. The signing of Dan Lincoln was announced. We just mentioned before we started the interview, he's made an absolute world-class save to pretty much kind of seal the win in the end for Slough. What has happened there, and what has happened in terms of Rowan Luther as well? Yeah,
so we had a decision to make. Dan became available. I've known him for 12 years. He's probably a better keeper than this level, so we've got someone I believe could play in the level above and maybe even higher, but he's obviously got his commitments to cricket, which probably stopped that in the past. To have a permanent keeper and obviously not have to worry about possibly a lone keeper getting recalled, the age that he is as well, I think it just made sense to do it. It's no reflection on Rowan. I think he's come in and he's done extremely well for us in certain games where I look at the Salisbury one, we probably wouldn't have had the FA Cup run without him, and I'm extremely grateful for that, and I thanked him yesterday for it. We've all created some good memories this season off the back of his performance at Salisbury, so it's nothing to do with his ability or anything like that. It's purely just the fact that having a permanent keeper and the fact that the board gave us the backing to go and sign someone like Dan, it just made sense, and I'm delighted to have him on board.
So just to confirm then, does that mean he's gone back to Cardiff now then?
It's a conversation to be had within the next 48 hours. His loan will remain till January. They could cancel it, but there's no point in doing that. He can't go out on loan elsewhere. So we might just leave the loan active just in case Dan gets injured and we need to recall him at some point and use him. So it's a conversation that I'll have with Cardiff over the next 48 hours. It's all happened really quickly. As you can imagine, bit of a whirlwind, maybe 48 hours. But on Dan's save, it was absolutely brilliant. I've never seen a ball that I thought was bound to hit the back of the net, clawed out of nowhere. I'm looking forward to seeing it back, and I said that I'd send it to him when I see it, so he can put it on his Instagram. So hell of a save, but I guess that's why you bring people in like Dan Lincoln when they're available, and I thought he just gave us that reassurance at the back when he's coming out and punching it. His kicking was superb, so overall really, really good debut.
And we also saw a return today actually of Aaron Cool to Arbor Park for the first time since he left. What did you make of his performance today, seeing as he ended up on the score sheet as well?
Yeah, I love Cooley. You can't ever say a bad word about him. He's one of the nicest people that I've played with. He's got bundles of ability, and he was certainly part of my team talk before the game in terms of stopping him playing, and I thought we did that for large parts. I thought Leon Parallon Chambers was absolutely outstanding. I thought he was one of the people that did have a game that was like his usual game, if that makes sense. I thought he was driving with the ball, some of his passing, even his aerial ability at times. I thought he was really good. And yeah, Cooley's Cooley, excellent player. I've said it before. If he hadn't had his injuries, he'd be playing higher. There's no doubt about it. But on the whole, he's obviously got his goal. He celebrated as well, so I might have to have a word with him about that after. But no, just delighted to get the victory today against a really good side and a manager that's been around for years and done it. As a young manager, it's always nice to sort of pick your wits against people like that. Obviously, Danny Bloor last week and Spencer today. So yeah, really happy for the club to get some much needed funds into the club yet again off the back of the FA Cup, and it gives us another chance to play another match and use the squad rotation that we have been.
Just to go over a couple of players then, injuries and players that have returned. We also saw Gary Basogan make his first start for Slough. Is that something he's going to keep doing? Is he going to feature from the bench, or will he maybe go out?
No, I think Gary needs to go out on dual reg for maybe a month and just get fit. It would have been the perfect scenario at the end with Ollie Spicer passing to Gary, or vice versa. One getting the assist and one scoring. I think I would have been over the moon for that to happen, and he's gutted that he didn't score, but the reception that he got when he came on was brilliant. You could see the excitement in people's voices, hear the excitement and see the excitement in their faces when he came on. I'm desperate to have him back because I think in pre-season he was just getting ticking. He's going to be a hell of a player for us, and he's a great lad yet again. So he might have to go out for a month. It might not be as long as that, depends on injuries and availability, but to give him a little bit of a taste today, because he's worked so hard to get back, and he was quite surprised when I said, Gary, get ready. But it felt like the right thing to do for someone that's been working so hard behind the scenes, and I think he'll be grateful for that.
We now move on then into another big league game on Tuesday evening against Havant here at Arbour Park. What is the fitness update on Temia Wecker? Will he be fit for that game? And just your thoughts in general, what is a big game ahead? Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you, I think groins are quite temperamental. I think sometimes they can get worse. Sometimes all of a sudden they can miraculously get better. So he might be back, I don't know. There's a couple other bits happening behind the scenes as well in terms of player availability and trying to get people into the squad. So I think the next 48 hours will be very, very busy for myself, but I'm willing to do it to try and improve us. But I don't want to say too much because I don't know the truth behind the answers yet. Temi says to me that he might be available for Tuesday, but we certainly won't risk him if he's not right, because we don't want to lose him for a longer period. Dan, I think, could be available. Myself, it'd probably be too soon. No, it'd definitely be too soon thinking about it now. I keep trying to calm myself that I might be okay, but I'm not, which is a real bugbear of mine. I've got a really good injury record and I'm desperate to play, but I don't care whether I play. I sit in the stand in the dugout. As long as we win 4 matches, then that's all I'm happy about.
Congratulations, Scott. We'll see you Tuesday.
Cheers, Con. Thank you, mate.